Well, college football fans, Clemson Tiger fans, thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Clemson Tigers post-game live reaction show. I'm your host, Tiger Paul Craven. Thank you for joining us on the Voice of College Football Clemson channel. I'm going to bring on my two co-hosts that I have tonight. First and foremost, I got Smitty. And last but not least, I got DeAndre in the house. We are here to break down the North Carolina State game here tonight in Death Valley. The good, the bad, the ugly. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this Saturday evening. How you guys doing?
Good.
All right, good. DeAndre, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good talking to state fans right now.
You talking to state fans right now?
Yeah.
They blowing up your phone?
Yeah, they claim that Clemson cheats, but I don't know.
Cheats how?
Exceeding practice rules.
Exceeding practice rules. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Breaking news. The state fans texting DeAndre right now said Clemson practices too much. That's why they won the game. So all y'all state fans in the chat, if there's any state fans in the chat, please don't try to defend that. That might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. So don't do it, okay?
People got to understand this is not the 80s. State doesn't care about football. Just like every other North Carolina other state school doesn't care. Outside of App State and East Carolina care about football.
All right, shout-outs to the chat real quick. John, thank you for getting in. Hunter Goatfro, thanks for getting in. WB2DX, thanks for getting in. Let's see, who else we got in here?
Bible Belt Beauties
gets into the chat. JR, the gent, gets into the chat. Andrew Goldsmith gets into the chat. Thank you guys for getting in so far. So we will start with, I guess, kind of the overarching things in the game. In my opinion, I think Clemson played a pretty solid game. I think we put together finally a performance where the defense and the offense both played pretty well, in my opinion. We got to see a night game in the Valley that was uninterrupted by previous games before it. We got to see them run down the hill. We got to see the new light show, the new Dabotron, if you will. So what are your guys' thoughts before we get into the game? What are you guys' thoughts on the new Clemson entrance into Death Valley? It's a lot of the same as before with some added stuff. So what are your guys' thoughts?
Definitely felt electrifying this far away.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine being there.
Hey, man. The energy there had to be insane, dude. Like, watching it on TV, I was ready to run through my wall, man. Like, I was ready to go, man. But, yeah.
Still the best 15 seconds in college football.
Hey, look.
I know people say Enter the Sandman, which I done been to. But I've been to Clemson so many times. The T or whatever at Tennessee screwed, or what's Michigan got? Jump it up, touch the thing. Notre Dame win like champions, whatever.
Right.
It's still not better than anything Clemson does.
Absolutely. Philip Brister gets in and says, uninterrupted by Yankees baseball. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Hey, check it out, guys. I know we haven't done it in a couple weeks, but guess what? No lie. I just watched an entire college football game, and I didn't have to see Aaron Judge strike out one time.
No, that was earlier today, though.
Yeah, it was pretty – yeah, no, I did. I did earlier today. But I finally watched a full college football game without watching any of the Yankees. So, shout out to ESPN for being a bunch of idiots, apparently. Apparently they don't know what they're broadcasting. All right, so let's get into the game a little bit, guys. broad thoughts on the game, broad strokes. We'll deep dive into the offense, the defense, all sorts of stuff like that. We'll get into kind of the keys of the game, some things that we liked that we didn't like. But let's just hit the highlights of the game. What are you guys' initial thoughts as the clock struck 0 in Death Valley tonight? Smitty, you can go first.
I think the thing that stands out the most to me is the consistent tight end play for sure.
Yeah.
I'm loving that mismatch all day. I don't know. I think the only bad play involving tight ends was that back throw towards the end. But I guess he had nothing else. And then secondary definitely came to play today. Lost what, 3 players today?
Yeah.
Two injury, 1 targeting, and those true freshmen just kept stepping up.
We got Makuba back, and then he wasn't back. So we were back to the kind of the same secondary that played against Wake Forest. We kind of had Trotter that was in and out a couple times. Obviously, we were already missing the dudes from the beginning of the game. So yeah, our defense was definitely extremely shorthanded tonight. But I think North Carolina State was missing a couple people as well. So we'll give them a little bit of credit for that. What do you got, DeAndre? Overarching thoughts on the game.
It's just like what I told y'all in the pregame show. If we got them out that 3-3-5 defense alignment, which we did by running the ball, I thought we had a great chance of winning the game. And I wasn't impressed by NC State's skill players. And the receiver, number 5 for NC State, I can't think of his name, but he had a real nice game. But I knew they weren't going to be able to run the ball on Clemson because they had trouble doing against ECU. Refs sucked tonight. To me, a lot of bad calls going against Clemson. But like we said, hey, trusting the 4 down linemen and let the guys play coverage, and that's what we saw tonight. So I was really proud of our guys tonight. I think they did a great job. And hey, 37 in a row down in Death Valley.
Hey, look, man, we got a good home winning streak going right now. It was a great win tonight. I think we could have won by more. I think we did make some mistakes tonight, but overall, I think it was a good game. Look, the offense played well, the defense played well. We were missing people, but at the end of the day, who's not missing people in college football in week 5, right? There's injuries all over the place, but I think guys stepped up. I think the defense was much more attentive tonight. I think we were, we just played a lot better on the back end, a lot better than we did in that Wake Forest game, and maybe that's some of that North Carolina State wasn't able to take advantage like Wake Forest was last week. And I think some of it is that, we learned some things on the back end. But I'll go over some stats in the first half for the two teams. And it was pretty even, to be completely honest. So first downs, North Carolina State had 8. We had 12. Total yards, 123 for North Carolina State, 181 for Clemson. 91 passing yards for North Carolina State, 120 for Clemson. Rushing yards, North Carolina State was held to 32. Clemson was held to 61. 4 penalties for North Carolina State for 40 yards in the first half, and then 6 for 55 against Clemson in the first half. We definitely dominated on time of possession, 13 to 16 minutes. So that's kind of the list of the stats for the first half. How do you guys think the first half went? I know the first quarter was taken up by basically 2 drives. So we came out, we got the ball first. North Carolina State won the toss. They deferred to Clemson. Clemson went down, had a really long, sustained drive, ended up kicking a field goal. We kicked the ball off to North Carolina State. they did exactly the same. A really long sustained drive, and then they kicked a field goal. So how do you guys think the first half went? And we'll start with that.
I think the first half was the game we expected. It was a dogfight the whole way. Nothing came easy for anybody. And Clemson definitely showed their heart there at the end. Just getting that ball back and getting the lead back before halftime, knowing that NC State's coming back with the ball.
Right. There was no quit in Clemson there. What do you think, DeAndre? First half.
I ain't like to play on the goal line when we hit the first field goal. That wide sweep because DJ's so slow.
Yeah,
I didn't like that. I didn't like that play.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's not.
I think if you're going to run DJ, it's got to be, quarterback draw up the middle. Maybe if you want to do a lead with the running back up the middle, I can get behind that a little bit. I also don't 100% like how much we're running DJ right now. I realize it's always been a part of Clemson's offense, and I know it will continue to be a part of Clemson's offense, but I feel like we're running DJ a lot. I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like on that first drive, DJ had 4 or 5 carries.
Right. And they had to do that because of where the lineman is.
I get it.
About on the pregame.
I mean, I just cringe every time he goes in there and puts his helmet down and puts
some of those hits.
Yeah, he puts his shoulder down, and sometimes I'm just like, man, dude, eventually he's gonna be on the wrong end of one of these hits, and I don't think we don't need that. We don't.
I don't know about the same thing about Deshaun, but
yeah, that's true.
And Boyd too, and Trevor Long. Hey, but let's give some love to DJ and the offensive line though, because I always said give DJ another chance. Cause I thought the pieces around him was terrible last year. So let's give some love to him. Cause I don't think he got sacked once. I think he played a well manageable game. He found the open parts of the zone. I think he did a very good job. I mean, I just think the offensive line need to get some love too. They're gelling and they're doing a very good job of pushing the line and protecting DJ. I don't think he got sacked one time tonight. I might be wrong on not looking at the stats, but I can't remember him getting sacked one time tonight. And I was able to get the ball. And and our secondary didn't get burnt tonight. I was really impressed with that. But we need to give some love because DJ, the fan base killed DJ all summer. And I was one of the ones saying give DJ a chance. I think that he had a bad rap last year. I don't think all of that was his fault. And it's well noted all the personal issues that he had going on.
Yeah.
And the public divorce between his mom and his dad and, all that other stuff. So we need to give DJ some love because we was hitting that man hard last year. And it seemed like he got together. The dedication just to lose that 35 pounds is amazing. I've been trying to lose 35 pounds for the last 20 years. And I still ain't got there. So, hey, man, get up here.
Shout out to DJ for losing 25 pounds, right?
Hey,
35, right?
Pulling one from the chat real quick. Hunter Goatfro saying that delayed QB run needs to stop. And I think I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I mean, while DJ seems effective with the run, he's not quick enough for that delayed run. I mean, as soon as there's penetration, it's over.
Right.
All he can do is lay down and get that half to a yard. But overall, he's running well. It's just tough.
He does run well, and
NC State's tough running. Period.
Yeah, it's hard to criticize the QB run.
It was hard not to cheer that okie doke at the end, that last touchdown.
Yeah, it's
those are far and few between.
Yeah, it's hard to criticize the QB run because he is running effective. I just hope we're being mindful when we're running him. Like in the red zone when DeAndre was talking, like running him out wide as Shipley is his lead blocker. That's just not his thing. If you're gonna run him, you got to run him between the tackles.
Or
He's a
give
big
somebody
dude.
other than Shipley. I mean, if you watch the tape, Shipley doesn't block.
Yeah, like he's not exactly the
I don't
best
know if he
blocker.
doesn't like the block, if he just sucks at blocking, but
I don't know.
my man doesn't block.
He's not great at it. That's for sure.
So.
As great as Shipley is at other things, pass blocking and any sort of blocking is really just not his thing.
Yeah.
So
and that Shipley catch was set up the touchdown at the end of the half. That was just amazing, man. I'm glad he took off. I know he was the check down person, but Shipley made a great play, and DJ also made a great play when he took off a run for like 12 yards on that opening part of the drive towards the end. I mean, I just think that, man, DJ has came a long way. I know he ain't putting up Heisman type numbers yet, but hey, man, I hope he gets some votes, man, because he's doing this thing. Huh?
He's definitely getting the job done.
Yeah. No, he's more than getting the job done. I think he has proven that he is a really good quarterback. I don't know if he's great, but he is a really good quarterback. He's done his job this season so far. Big Mac gets in and says NC State did what I thought they would do. They stunt RPO, DJ pull the ball, and then crash down. DJ has to pass. I think DJ played great tonight. I think there were some throws out there that DJ missed for sure. That one from Bro Collins out in the kind of out in the flat comes to mind.
Yeah.
The one
you just want that one to connect.
Yeah. What was it? Antonio Williams across the middle was another one I think that he missed.
He got hit. Well, he got hit.
He did get hit. Yeah, absolutely. He got hit on that play for sure.
2 more seconds, and that's a touchdown.
Yeah, no, that was a touchdown. Like those were 2 touchdowns right there that were kind of missed. One because of pressure, one because it was just right out of the reach of Bo Collins' hands. And who knows? Maybe he makes that play in another life. But
well, I mean, at the same time, you got to have something to work towards next week.
Right, absolutely. I think DJ played really well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the 3-3-5 defense. I know everybody said they got to make those passes, but they were just sitting back in the zone, like the guy said, they crashed down. But they sitting 3 across and 2 under, then your linebackers either dropping and reading you. He made the plays that needed to be made to win the game. He didn't force anything.
Yep.
Those 2 passes to Collins, especially the last one. Yeah, Collins was wide open. He overthrew him a little bit. He should have got some more air in it. But I mean, that's only 2 things he did wrong compared to last year. I mean, I think he's at 11 touchdowns and 1 INT this year, and with 3 rushing touchdowns. And that last rushing touchdown was amazing. DJ,
it was good. It was good.
Yeah, we got to say, we got to turn the corner. This is the 5th game, and say, hey man, we got to get more support behind DJ.
Oh yeah, I'm all in.
I'm
all in on DJ
last year.
I'm all in on DJ.
Reason,
I know
and
people.
Our offensive line too. I hope Parker's all right, but our offensive line.
Yeah, I hope so.
Play well. I don't, like I said, I think I showed you when we first started talking about doing the show, a bunch of plays where Clemson was getting DJ set around 3-man rush, and especially against NC State, and they didn't do that this year. So I mean, hey man, they got it together. Miller has played way better. I know he jumped off sides, had a false start on him, but Miller has played a lot better since that Georgia Tech game. These guys are growing as we can see it. We're not going to be blowing everybody out right now until we get the real jail. Probably when we come off that bye, we're gonna look really, really good pushing the ball down the field and running. And nobody else runs the defense like NC State does.
Yeah, I hope so. I was saying earlier on tonight, I was like, I'm getting really tired of good games. I know it's good for all the other college football fans out there, but when
Right.
it's my team playing, I hate good games. But that's just me. That guy 13 gets in, says happy for the win, but these injuries are seriously concerning. I agree. I think we need a bye week badly. I think we need to get healthy, especially on the back end of the defense. The secondary is really injured right now. They're banged up. They're just not available. I mean, a lot of our first guys that would run out there first, they're just not available right now. I think Clemson needs a bye week in the worst way right now. I think they kind of need to heal up, get healthy in the secondary, and I think that defense will look a lot better if we do. And I can't wait. Have we had I don't think we've had very many, maybe not any games this season where our defensive line has been whole. Like all the dudes that we talk about playing on Sunday.
Probably Georgia Tech. That was it.
Yeah, maybe Georgia Tech, but
not even then because Xavier Thomas didn't play.
Exactly. So not a single game this season yet has our defensive line been whole, and all those dudes that we talk about playing on Sunday, they haven't played together yet this year. Our secondary's banged up, and I think getting healthy on both the defensive front and the defensive back side of the ball, I can't wait to see what the defense can actually do.
How do y'all feel about them playing so far off the wide receivers this game compared to last game?
I think we did
first down.
I think we did better, but there were a couple times where we gave up some third down conversions because we were playing so far off and we were giving cushions. And I just remember sitting there thinking, like, why are we playing so far off the receivers? And I think maybe some of that is scheme, not trying to give up the big play, but at the end of the day, you got to play the sticks, right? You can't give up third downs with that much cushion and make it an easy throw, especially for a veteran quarterback like Leary. The guy's been around the block for a long time, so he's gonna see that and he's gonna exploit it. And I think early on in the game, they were having some success on third down against us.
Yeah, that 3rd and 19, boy, I was like, how do you here we go again? Y'all giving up 3rd and 19, and I'm like, oh my God, like
I think it's definitely about finding a way to bend and not break.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So. And I think part of it was personnel issues, scheme, and then just flow of the game. But I think Clemson's defense settled in really nice tonight. I think we did some good things. They stood up when they needed to. They got the job done. I mean, at the end of the day, they only allowed 13 points until that garbage touchdown that NC State scored at the end of the game.
Right.
So I mean,
refs helped them out with.
What more can you ask for from a defense that's really shorthanded? And I'm not blaming anything on injuries and stuff like that, because nobody wants to hear that in college football because everybody's got injuries. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think Clemson's defense played really, really good tonight. I don't think we could have expected much more out of that defense, especially when we realized that Malcolm Green was still out. Makuba went out. Like he played in the game, but he got taken out pretty immediately with the targeting call. You got Sheridan Jones still out. You got Brian Brzee out. You got XT that's still not playing. That defense is not whole at all. So
Jeremiah Trotter went down.
Yeah, Jeremiah Trotter went down a couple times.
They must have allowed Fred Davis in the stadium tonight because I didn't see him at all. I didn't see him on
Now that you say that, I did not see him either.
They was like, hey, you just stay out the stadium tonight. Because I know he's had a hard time since he's been at Clemson.
That's messed up. Poor Fred
Davis. What y'all think
about
about Wiggins' antics? I know the commentators have made some comments.
Don't like it. Don't like it at all.
Yeah.
Don't like it. I mean, he started. He started. Look, this is what I don't like. I don't like you kind of showboating on a play where you didn't make a play. The receiver dropped the ball. You didn't make that play. The receiver dropped the ball, and then you go like flexing like you made a play. That's what I don't like. If you make a play and you want to flex and you want to, do a celebration, I got no issues with that whatsoever. But if a receiver just drops a ball, then no. You don't no.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
I think it's a lot about like building self-confidence.
No, I get that. Yeah.
On the outside looking in, you're like, man, this guy's showboating and this and that. But like on the inside, he's kind of building himself up to like, make that play later. Maybe if he boosted his self-confidence a little bit more, he'd have caught that interception instead of it going straight through his hands.
I thought that was a pick six, dude. I thought that was a pick six.
Yeah, Pride had one interception tonight, man.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I liked it.
From all I can tell, Pride played a really good game.
He did.
Right.
He did. You didn't see his name called a lot, and when you did, he was getting an interception.
And then I can't remember his name either, but
that probably means he played a good game.
Safety number 12, I can't remember his name.
He's a freshman. He's a freshman. I don't even know his name.
He played a good game.
Corville or something like
Corver,
that.
Yeah, Corver or something like that.
Yeah, highly recruited.
He ended up getting shaken up there towards the end too, but he was playing a good game himself.
Yeah. He came in. He came in relief, and that's like the amount of freshmen that are playing on the back end. It's not good for Clemson's defense right now, but I mean, next year, the year after, that's all going to pay dividends for us. I know we don't want to talk about that right now, and that really doesn't matter right now. But at the end of the day, that's definitely going to pay dividends for us down the road.
I wonder why Venables, with him being and I know his father probably rather be at Clemson right now, but Venables seems like he goes in and out the game a lot. Is he hurt? Number 24.
Oh, you talking about the safety?
Yeah,
Tyler Venables.
On the package.
Yeah. I think that's just a rotation thing.
I think he's in there with two safeties, but if there's only one safety, he's not.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. But I know his dad is hurting right now, boy. He catching hell. He should have stayed down here at Clemson with us.
Well, he's got to get his own people in there.
Hey, look.
That defense wasn't necessarily set up for his.
Yeah, let's be honest. OU doesn't have a whole lot of talent on defense. They signed some big talented classes, but most of those talented classes were all one-sided on the offensive side of the ball with Lincoln Riley. So I don't know what people expected from Brent Venables in year one. I'm not an OU fan, so I don't know. But just give him time. I think he'll be a good head coach. Just give him time. Don't jump the gun too soon. Just fair warning. It doesn't usually end well for college football teams that change coaches over and over again. It never goes well.
Right.
Hunter Gofro says, keep feeding number 0. Dude is a baller in the making. Yes, he is. He absolutely is. He's made himself basically a starter at this point. He's that guy. He's that guy in the receiver room.
Sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that we talked about on the post pregame show. Now that we have a guy that has different type of shiftiness, and that goes another thing back when people criticize DJ, he was working with the same type of receivers. Now he has a guy that has some shiftiness to him. I would expect the guy in the game tonight. I didn't even see him, so I don't think I seen him on one play tonight. And
if he was in the game, I don't think he got targeted. I don't remember a pass going his way.
So you saw some shiftiness with the guy.
Yeah.
What's that? Anthony? Is it Anthony Edwards or I can't remember his name? But
Anthony Williams. You talking about number 0?
Yeah.
Williams.
We finally got a guy that got some shiftiness to him.
Antonio Williams. Excuse me.
Antonio Williams. And hey man, that's what you need right there.
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, give a big shout out to our tight ends. They are balling, man. I mean,
Hey,
Allen
Brennistool
made
had a
some.
night tonight, didn't he?
Oh yeah, him and Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a tough
Brennistool had a night
matchup.
tonight.
You know.
So happy to see that guy 13 says happy to see these freshman DBs get valuable experience, but we have to address all the injuries in the secondary. What is happening? I don't know, man. You guys got any thoughts on what's happening with all the injuries?
Can't help injuries. I mean, it happens. I mean, hey, you got to live with it. Next man up. You done recruited very well at that position.
Yeah.
I think they made a great adjustment. 'Cause I think the guy number 80, he even beat on the taller receiver for NC State. He beat Booth on the pass for a touchdown last year. So he didn't do much tonight. So I think the adjustments that they made was excellent. I didn't see anybody really getting beat. Sometimes, these guys get in these big games and make a lot of mistakes. And that's what probably happened last week against Wake Forest. If we take those pass interference plays away, Wake Forest doesn't move the ball like that against us. And you see how talented they were with what they did against Florida State. But I think the pass interference calls was alleviated because just like we said in the talk, in the pregame, stop blitzing so much and sit back and let these guys play coverage, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
So I think it was a great improvement. And we got a big arm quarterback coming up next week, so we're gonna see what he do. And I think he got one of the best arms in the conference, and he got some good slot receivers. So hey, it's gonna be an interesting game next week against Boston College. So I think but I think we did good though.
Shouldn't be a problem against Boston College. I hope not. But they do have a big arm quarterback, Djokovic. John Sarin gets in, says maybe Randall comes on, but by far our reliable mismatches are Davis and Jake Brennistool. Yeah, Davis Allen, Jake Brennistool, they're definitely mismatches in the secondary. I think Randall could be that third mix match for us. I definitely think I'd like to see Randall get some more touches. I think he played a pretty good game tonight. He had a couple catches. So I love to see the tight end play in our offense. I think that's something that Clemson's offense has been missing for quite some time. Ever since, Jordan Leggett kind of left, we kind of stopped utilizing tight ends altogether. Maybe that was a personnel issue. Maybe that was a scheme issue. I don't really know. Doesn't really matter. But I welcome the sight of the tight end being a focal point in this offense again.
Yeah,
And
Galloway just didn't work out.
Yeah, Galloway, I think he just, for whatever reason, he never really worked out. And Davis Allen and Jake Brennistool are really getting the job done this season. They're making contested catches. They're bullying DBs out there, making catches across the middle, which is something that us as Clemson fans talked about for the longest time, about us not attacking the middle of the field. And we're finally doing some of that. So feels good to be 5-0. Feels good to get a win tonight in Death Valley against North Carolina State. It feels good to be in control for majority of the second half. As far as the game goes, I think Clemson was well in control for majority of the second half. North Carolina State came with that late score, but I don't think it really mattered. How do you think everybody perceives this win tonight for Clemson?
I think they like the consistency.
Okay.
Oh, we're talking like analysts and whatnot.
Yeah, we're talking national, all the yahoos
like
that talk for a living.
There's gonna be a way to down talk the win.
Yeah,
they're gonna create it's one of those like the SEC bias, right. Somehow for whatever reason Missouri's gonna be a better team than number 10 ranked NC State. So that struggle win that Georgia had, better than
it just means more, right?
the Clemson win. So
Yeah.
It just means more.
Unfortunately, I pick on Mark about all the time about, I mean, think about how good the ACC Coastal is, and I would put ACC Coastal, not Atlantic. I mean,
The Atlantic
versus
is
the
insane, dude. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
coming into the day, we had what 4 undefeated teams in the
mhm,
Atlantic,
yeah.
and
now
They
that
go.
I mean, you can say what you want about whoever those teams played, and I'm sure some of them have played some weak opponents, and so have we. But at the end of the day, if you got 4 undefeated teams in the same division of a conference, like that's a pretty good division in a conference. I don't care. I don't care who they played.
And think
Um,
about this: State and Florida State when they play next
yeah,
week, that's an elimination game.
right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because both of them got one loss,
Hmm.
and if Clemson slips up somewhere, and hey, we forgot Syracuse. I mean, Syracuse is balling right now.
home
I know they
field.
beat
Absolutely.
only Ragnar, but they did beat Louisville, and Louisville has the potential to knock somebody else too. So we're looking at some teams that coming down the road who might give us some trouble. But that game between State and Florida State next weekend is an elimination game
Yeah, they play next
because
weekend, right?
right,
So State has to win that game.
yes, that both states got to win a game,
Yeah,
so or they get eliminated. So that's crazy.
Both
yeah.
You know,
states.
Both
yeah, both
states.
yeah. So hey, man, that's crazy. And Clemson got to keep winning because they got a 1 game lead on Wake Forest.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wake
these
Forest is
next
good, man. Everybody wanted to, including us. We were hypercritical of the Clemson defense, and they were extremely bad against Wake Forest. Like, I mean, I think we might have had a
Shock.
record.
It was
I,
shocking.
I don't I don't know what the pass interference record or penalty record is for a secondary, but Clemson might have broke it last week.
Yeah, bless
Um,
his heart getting that. Who was
but
that?
there's a lot of teams that would struggle with Wake Forest's offense. There's a lot of teams out there that would struggle with that offense.
Yeah, that pass
So
interference call tonight in the end zone
yeah,
was a flubbed up call.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
For all the times you get called out for pass interference,
That on that last
they
drive, I
still
think
play
it
like that.
was it the last drive that North Carolina State was going on when we got the roughing the passer penalty. Was that the last
Yeah,
drive?
that pretty much ignited the touchdown.
Yeah, that was a flop.
Yeah,
Like he got pushed into Devin Leary, and Devin Leary
right.
flopped like he was LeBron James on the basketball court.
Right.
Uh, it was ridiculous, but whatever. Uh,
Just to throw something in there real fast about we talking about ACC play. Georgia
yep.
Tech just upset Pitt. Ain't that
Did they
amazing?
really?
Yeah.
What was the
26-21.
score?
26-21.
26-20 with Georgia Tech.
Yeah, on the
What
road.
is Pitt doing? What happened?
I don't know. Maybe they came out of spike. When I was looking at it earlier,
Good Lord.
9-7.
They were like, hey, Jeff Collins is out of the building. Now we figured out how to freaking win games. Is that what
Oh
happened?
yeah.
Hey,
Probably
shout
so.
out to Georgia Tech.
sometimes.
Shout out to Georgia Tech.
And again, I keep trying to tell people, if you go look at some of these games, a lot of these teams that are playing, like, hey, let's play this slow down game. They're beating teams because of that. Missouri tonight is a perfect example. We're gonna slow you down by playing. We're gonna play our safeties back, and what you saw with NC State. And you saw when NC State finally, we didn't capitalize on it, but when Bo Collins got loose, if he would have hit Bo Collins on both of them passes, man, that score would probably have been like 44-20. I mean he had Bo Collins wide open on 2 of them, boy, and that's all we needed, man. And that score would have looked a lot worse because I think we both said double digit. I know Jordan disagreed with us, but we both had Clemson winning by double digits. Me and you, Carver. So, that game, that score doesn't indicate how good Clemson played tonight. And
Yeah.
we missed a lot of open receivers going down the outside. But when NC State came out of that coverage, they was in trouble, and I knew it. When they couldn't stop the run, we had them. We had them beat. And those running backs, they played a heck of a game. Shipley receiving, and Mufasa came in and ran through a couple of tackles, man. And DJ led the team in rushing tonight with 73 yards with 2 touchdowns. That's just amazing. We haven't seen stuff like that since Todd Boyd left.
Yeah.
So hey, that's just amazing, man.
Goodrich 10 gets in and says Clemson is trying to run Kobe Pace off next. I don't think so, man. He's hurt. He got hurt in the last game. He got his ankle kind of twisted up in the Wake Forest game. So I was surprised that he saw the field at all tonight. Honestly, I saw him out there. I think I saw him out there only once, but I was surprised to even see him out there.
Right.
Because he is hurt. So I don't think we're trying to run him off, but I do see what he's saying. He's not getting a ton of touches this season.
Right.
John Saring gets in, says, I'm most impressed by how the O-line gave DJ a clean pocket so much against a veteran and good D front. Talking about NC State's front.
Absolutely.
They got juniors and seniors all over the freaking field, 18 returning starters this season, so on and so forth. And I think Clemson put up a great performance against them, including our offensive line.
I know NC State fans are in here, but that means NC State after this year is going to suck for another 4 or 5 years. You know, tell you Dave Jordan, think about it.
Yeah, this is your year. This is your year. Yeah.
Look how long it took him from Malik Finley. Then you had to run between Russell Wilson. Because every 4 or 5 years that they build up teams to make runs, they're not like us where. And I try to get my friends to understand that they don't. Clemson recruits on a national level. Dave Doran recruits the state of North Carolina, and then you got 4 or 5 other schools like UNC Charlotte, App State, Carolina, Duke, East Carolina, all around the area. Then Clemson a lot of times come and get some of the best players. Because look at Simpson and Dexter Lawrence and a lot of other guys are from this area. You know, one of the best fullbacks of all time, McCall, is from right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Played with the Raiders for a long time. So, you know, there's a lot of players that leave North Carolina to go to Clemson. So North Carolina State takes years to build up their team. And I knew that rushing game couldn't deal with us. And our offensive that we got off on that offensive line tonight. Our defensive line straight dominated, and that's what we were looking for. Henry got off, Murray he got off. I think Tyler Davis, and those quick screens that we was having trouble with. Hey man, they got neutralized. Tyler Davis took care of that on the first possession. Man, he just got up in there, man. He got some moving, boy. If that defense ever get whole and we get through this regular season undefeated in the playoffs, they're gonna be hell to pay in the playoffs, where teams are playing right now.
Yep. Tal Pollard gets in, says we should be pulling for teams we have to play later on so that we look better in the end. I pull for every team we play to win, except for when they play us. For that reason alone, I don't really think Clemson needs that. We're a national brand. If Clemson goes undefeated, regardless of who we played, we're going to be in the college football playoff. That's just plain and simple. If we go undefeated, we win the ACC, we're in the college football playoff, and we could probably even lose a game, win the ACC, and still get in the college football playoff. I don't think we need any team to prop up our resume per se. But it is always good for the teams that you beat to keep winning. So I get what you're saying.
So we got the longest winning streak, and what is the longest winning streak right now? 9 games? Or where we at now?
We're at would you say 9?
Yeah, I think we had 9 games. So we won No, 10 maybe. Maybe 10.
10?
So we
11?
last
11? 11
oh,
games?
we won
I
the
don't know.
last.
I don't know what we're at.
Yeah, but I know we got the longest winning streak in the conference.
So we got a couple of people asking. Byron Davis gets in and says, did they redshirt Cade? And WB2DX gets in and says, should Dabo have played Cade a few snaps in the fourth quarter?
No, and
No.
I
Yeah.
don't. There wasn't a place for it.
Yeah. No, he's not redshirted. And
I mean, maybe if
yeah.
there was more time left on the clock after.
Yeah,
Jackson,
maybe if Clemson's defense would have stopped NC State on that last drive and NC State wouldn't have scored that touchdown,
right? Yeah.
maybe the next offensive drive, I think Cade Klubnik could have got in there, but that's about it. I don't think at any other time in the game it was appropriate.
And I think we had this discussion earlier in the year. I think they shouldn't play Cade, not because I think that he could take DJ job down, but if you think about it, DJ stays healthy. You got Hunter. You got a 2-year gap in between quarterbacks. Then the guy that's coming in next year, I can't remember the name, from Alabama. He could redshirt. You got a 2-year gap where you filling in. I don't know. Another important part of this game that we haven't talked about is the amount of recruits that were there tonight. We had a lot of 2024 recruits. I think we had a top linebacker, one of the top quarterbacks in tonight at the game. I can't remember the whole list, but we had a lot of recruits that's coming in for 2024 at the game tonight. And I think if you keep, I don't know, when Florida State was really successful in the 90s, that's what they did. They kept a 2-year gap. So if you are, I think the rule is if you don't play in 4 games, you're able to redshirt for the next year. So I think it's important. Yeah, you want to keep Cade fresh, but you got Hunter Johnson there already, who has a lot of playing experience and has been at Clemson before. So if you keep that 2-year gap in between there, I think it will help us out tremendously coming down the thing. We know Cade is talented, but let him give him a chance to grow. And all those comparisons with Kelly and Lawrence, DJ was the first number one quarterback coming out of college, just like Cade was. So I don't think those that Kelly and Lawrence was comparison, or Cole Stout and Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was a 4-star recruit, and we just knew that Cole Stout wasn't the man.
Yeah,
I talked to Eric one time about it. McLaurin, the left tackle, he transferred from tight end to left tackle, and he lives down the street from me. And he said, "Yeah, if Deshaun Watson would have played the whole year that year, his senior year, they probably would have played for a national championship."
Yeah, Hunter GoFro gets in and says Anthony Vicina, 5-star QB, is who we're getting next year.
Yep.
So
redshirt him.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
If DJ keep playing like he is, I guarantee you DJ won't stay next year anyway. So you just get that gap in there. I don't think he'll come back.
Stephen Presley gets in, says every QB at Clemson but the clipboard guy are 5-star QBs.
Yeah,
for the most part, we bring in a lot of 5-star QBs and probably a lot of high 4-star QBs as well. So
yeah. Him. So I think he's more interested in playing football. But Will Taylor, I still wait for him to do some more stuff in the gadget department.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah,
I was hoping he's going to take that punt home, but
he had a good return tonight, so we'll give him that.
Yeah.
Hey, keep him on the punt return, keep him on the kick return, and keep Shipley off the kick return. Every time Shipley's on a kick return, I swear to God, I'm gonna have a heart attack thinking he's gonna get hurt. I know he's dynamic, but bro, I just think Shipley's way too valuable to be on kick and punt returns. I just do. I think we got other guys that can fill that role. But Hunter gets in, says those were terrible comparisons too. DJ has a way higher ceiling than Kelly Bryant. Yes, he does. He's a way better quarterback than Kelly Bryant too. just my opinion. But Byron Davis says, well, like we said, we had 4 teams that were 4-0 going into this weekend. That is pretty strong looking. They will eventually have to start giving the ACC some props. Yeah, but they won't. They won't. So they should, but they won't.
Only 2 undefeated teams. So
yeah, now there's only 2 undefeated teams. So
Yeah, who else in Georgia Tech?
he said, "Can someone tell Kirk that Clemson meets at the Paul?"
you'd think you know that since his sons play.
Did he say something?
I'm not sure.
Philip Brister.
He said the ball and I walked away.
Did he say something about Clemson fans storming the field? They weren't. So for anybody questioning, Clemson fans weren't storming the field because we beat North Carolina State. It's a tradition at Clemson. You meet at the Paul. Like that's what they do every single home game ever. I'm not really sure why if Kirk Herbstreit said anything. Oh, okay. So Philip gets in and says yes, he did. So I'm not sure why he doesn't know that. He's got sons that have played in the Clemson uniform. Is anybody? Does he still have sons on the team or no?
Nah, they gone. They were walk-on, preferred walk-ons. They left.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah, they were going there. They weren't going to get in.
Good. Did they leave? Did they leave the team or did they graduate?
I believe one of them is still there.
Nah, both of them left.
They left the team?
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
Transferred.
Transferred to where?
I want to say Texas Tech. I don't remember.
Texas Tech.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know they transferred.
I bet you they ain't playing there either.
No, they wasn't. They were preferred walk-ons at Clemson. So
yeah.
Let me ask you all this.
All right.
How important do you think breaking Miami's home winning streak is? And we had 36. I think Miami's is 54. So I think it's 2 more years. We might be able to break it.
I mean, I would love it. But, again, I would love to never lose another game in Death Valley for the rest of my life. So,
I think I was at the last Death Valley loss.
Were you?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was Pittsburgh, 2016.
Pittsburgh, 2016. So that means you can't go back to Death Valley, Smitty. That means you can't go back.
Since.
You can't go back. No, you're a curse.
I've been there since.
No, that's not how that works.
My son's first game. I blame him.
Oh, okay. Just don't take him back then.
Yeah, that's
He can't go back. He's the curse.
But if you look at it, we got Syracuse, Louisville, Miami, and South Carolina. So that's 4 more this year. So you might end up at 40. So we'll probably 2 more years. We probably can break it or tie it. I was just wondering. And we really don't. I think Notre Dame comes next year. That's probably the biggest home game next year that we have. We're just looking forward a little bit. Just saying how important that. To me, I think it's important.
I think it's important. Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, why shouldn't we go for that record? I mean, we got a long way to go. So
I mean, Dabo swing.
Yeah.
It's all about breaking records.
Yeah, all about it, man. We'll put a banner up somewhere.
You didn't know we're records.
we got a graveyard. We got a graveyard out back, homie. Like, come on now. We're all about.
I'm still trying to write Dabo and tell them they should claim that 1978 championship. I'm still on that one.
So we can have 4 national championships instead of 3.
Yeah. Hey, Miami claims stuff they win all the time, man. So
so does Alabama. Alabama got about 10 national championships they claimed that they didn't win, but whatever.
Oh yeah.
Hunter Gofro gets in, says tonight would have been perfect if UGA would have lost. I knew they were going to pull it out. I knew they were going to pull it out though. I knew they were. I didn't watch any of the game. I don't know what happened in the game. I was in Pigskin Pete stream, and there were people updating it from there. But I knew they would pull it out.
No, I don't agree with this one.
Stephen Presley, I'd love to see Zero return the kicks. Why not?
I want them fresh
No.
legs on offense, man.
Yeah, no, right? Like,
I feel
look,
like-
leave this stuff to like Will Taylor.
I feel like even back in the days of like CJ Spiller or and those other starters, Sammy Watkins, all of them. Like when they returned kicks, they weren't as explosive on those offensive plays coming up.
Yeah,
they just weren't.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see any of our key starters on.
If they return the kick, it doesn't matter. But
yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see any of our key starting people on offense return any kicks. I just don't want to see it. They're way too valuable. I think we can find somebody else on the team that can either do a fair catch or freaking run the ball and hold on to it. Like, there's got to be somebody else because, I mean, kicks.
Will Taylor's fine.
Yeah, kicks are like the most dangerous play on the football field. Like, we don't need Will Shipley or Antonio Williams doing that. Granted, they would probably make some electric kick returns, but then we run the risk of them, getting their freaking knee blown out, and then we don't have them on offense. So
I still remember Sammy Watkins versus Maryland. He returned that kick. I think he had like 5 touchdowns that game. He had like 1 kick return, 1 punt return, 1 receiving touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. Sammy Watkins, when he was there, he was so nasty with it. And CJ Spiller too, man. Those guys, man, returning kicks, when they were returning them, they just made it look great.
How many does the SEC have undefeated? Let's see. Georgia, 2. Alabama. Who else?
I think that's it after today.
Is that it after today?
Kentucky lost.
Yeah. Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah.
Ole Miss got 3.
Ole Miss 5 now.
Okay, yeah. So
but they're going to lose real soon.
Ole Miss, Georgia, Alabama. Is that it? So they got 3?
I can't remember if Tennessee took an L yet or not.
Who?
Tennessee.
Let me see. We're going to drill down the answer. We're going to drill down the answer.
I think there's another comment. Stephen Presley.
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
How bad hurt is Malcolm Green and Sheridan Jones? Not sure about either. They're being very quiet about the injuries.
That will want number 2.
I think Malcolm Green, like, there's been no details at all whatsoever. Like it almost might not even be an injury. And then Sheridan Jones got hurt 2 weeks ago. Still,
nobody brings up the fact that he won't allow them in the stadium tonight.
Yeah.
It was not loud Friday Davis in there.
Malcolm Green, yeah. The Malcolm Green injury or lack thereof has been very quiet. I mean, it's getting pretty close to where, like, you're going to have no choice but to pull from the receiver pool because the receiver pool is so deep. And the secondary, they just don't have anybody to play.
Yeah.
They're going to pull the New England Patriots on.
So, Ty Herbstreit is still in Clemson, apparently.
I mean,
I don't know if that's true.
E.J. Williams would be a prime candidate for corner.
He would be. I know you keep saying it. He would be.
He's got the speed. Got the hand.
I was shocked how slow Kendrick was. Because when he was I thought he was going to be a first-round draft pick the way they talked about it when he was at Clemson. But when he went over to Georgia and then he went into the NFL draft, he went a 4.7. I was like, dang, you that slow? I thought he was way faster than that. 4.7. I mean, did y'all see
Where's he
that?
at now? Where's he at in the NFL now?
I don't think he. I don't think he got drafted.
Yeah, I think he had a undrafted free agent contract and then got dropped.
Hmm.
He's probably on a practice squad somewhere.
Probably. I'm sure he's still in the NFL somehow.
And he was. I mean, he was good. I was amazed. When
he's very good. I didn't like him leaving Clemson, but he couldn't get right. He couldn't pay attention to the rules. So Shipley has elite effort, but the speed, power, vision, and lateral movement is average. Unpopular opinion, I know. I don't know about that.
Yeah. I don't think the speed's there. I think
Speed, no, he's not.
He's quick. He's not fast.
Yeah, he's not like a straight line dude that's going to like outrun people. He's not.
That's amazing because I think
But he does
he's from Weldon, North Carolina, and I think he has a bunch of track records in Union
I think
County.
I think Shipley's got some acceleration where he can burst through holes and stuff like that. But I think his top end speed is not, he doesn't have top end pull away speed, in my opinion.
And he definitely has more power this year than last year.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely
way more.
He definitely put that work in the weight room for sure.
Right.
Shipley has huge speed burst. Yeah. I agree, John. He does have a burst, but I think his top end is where he's limited. He gets chased down. Absolutely. He does. He's not like Spiller or ETN speed. No, he's not.
Doesn't have to be, though.
No, he doesn't. That's not everybody has to have that top end speed. It'll be okay. It's no longer Death Valley. It's Daboville.
I love it. I'm cool.
I like it. We got the Dabotron in Daboville. So I'm good with all of it.
I just love the way Dabo bat DJ, and I was one of the DJs. You go ask Mark. I was one of the DJ's biggest defenders. And,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't. I was done with DJ after last year. To be completely honest.
Yeah,
not gonna lie. Not even going front. I'm all in on him now, but after last year and after that miserable season, I was kind of just like I was resigned to the fact that like how much better could he be? Clearly, I was wrong, and I'm glad I was.
I just feel like like all this stuff that's going on, especially when he got the Dr. Pepper NIL deal. I mean, that's a lot of stress for that young man, and I just think he was just stressed to the max. And then he was injured. That offensive line, what they did with that offensive line, Austin, I can't wait to see him get another year with these guys. I know McFadden is going to be gone, and Christian Lay is going to step in. But it's just amazing what he has done with our offensive line. It looks so much better. And they are, Blake Miller, they said was came in as one of the strongest and nastiest players. I cannot wait to see that the kid get some more development, because once we be able to get some development with this offensive line and they can push and open up those holes next year, man, those running backs, I know we're just talking about next year. I know we shouldn't do it, but I'm just amazed by this offensive line, man. And remember, we still got the number one center in a country that has not played from 2 years ago. He got red-shirted, and then he's a red-shirt freshman this year. We haven't seen Ryan Listico yet. So imagine what type of development he's going to have once he get in there. I mean, this offensive line has potential that we haven't seen before at Clemson with Austin there. Hopefully nobody comes along and try to snatch him up. But if he's able to stay around, I think we're going to do pretty good.
Absolutely. I think we will.
Yeah, I have a little bit more respect for our defensive coordinator because he adjusted to stuff that, as me being a non-coach, I saw it. I was like, man, back off these guys. Let the defensive line do this is the best position group in the country.
And that's kind of what happened going into the second half, right? Like,
Outside of Brett Carter's zone
yeah,
blitz
yeah,
off the edge.
yeah. 2 straight sacks. Defensive line was really getting some pressure, really putting some pressure together against NC State. So, and then they force that 3-and-out right out of halftime. Clemson goes down, scores. Half couldn't have started any better, right, at that point.
Right. And also, I'm amazed. We talked about it the other day. I wonder why they don't play Davis and Breezy together. I know Breezy was hurt today, but man, I hope they start playing them more together.
Tyler Davis and Brian Brzee. Yeah.
The Tyler Davis numbers. I read an article one time. His numbers, his freshman year, was better than Dexter Lawrence and William Perry put together for their whole career.
Look, Tyler Davis is ridiculous. That dude is he's an animal. He's an absolute animal. And which is why I can't wait to see our defensive line be whole and actually play a game together where they're all healthy.
Athletic.
What's that?
I said it don't make no sense for him to be that big and athletic.
I know, right? Like, bro, what? I'm glad I don't have to block him or get tackled by him. I can tell you that. Let's see. Zion gets in, says 86, Ty Herbstreit plays for Clemson. You guys are the worst. You don't know the names or football. Thanks, Zion. We appreciate that. If we don't know football or the names, why are you watching? I don't understand. Don't waste your time.
There's 100 and something people out there.
Hey, there's a bunch of people out there.
Everybody. He don't play, so I don't need to keep up with him.
Trying to tell you, we got 100 people on the roster. Herbstreit brothers, or the Herbstreit that's left, doesn't really matter to Clemson's roster. So, sorry, I didn't know if he was still playing or not.
Yeah, because I know they had transferred at one point.
He's probably last on the depth chart, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he don't even hold.
He's even behind Sweeney, and that's saying something. So, I'm just saying, he's behind Drew Sweeney. At least Drew Sweeney's out there holding kicks.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kirk Herbstreit was being sarcastic when he mentioned rushing the field. I could get behind that. Let's see. What else we got? Let's get to the comments. Looking for something else.
Okay.
Do y'all think Clemson is a top 4 team by 0700 here?
I think we're better than Michigan. I'll be honest with you. I mean, Michigan had an issue with Maryland. I mean, I don't have a lot of respect for Maryland. I mean, I think we're better than Michigan. Michigan's schedule early has been really terrible. I mean, they play Hawaii, Colorado State, and those are 2 worst teams of the Power 5 right now. I think we're better than them. I mean, Iowa has no type of offense. I mean, they barely beat South Dakota State, who's not one of the best FCS teams. So 7-6. So I think that we're better than Michigan by far, but I still think that we don't have the explosiveness of Alabama. I mean, that's amazing there. Bryce Young goes out, they come in with another quarterback that takes off and runs for 72 yards, close to a touchdown. They have a lot of that's where I think that we lack. I haven't really seen Ohio State play this year. I know they're explosive, but we saw Notre Dame hold down to 21 points. So I know we can do it too. Georgia, I think Georgia has a lot of issues that hasn't been exposed. I think this Clemson team, they would have played this Georgia team now. I think Clemson will beat this Georgia team from what I've seen for the last couple of weeks out of Georgia. So, yes, I do think we are top 4. But I think Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State right now has more explosiveness in their offense than Clemson does. So that's why I think the biggest thing is, and they're probably, I don't know who's injured on Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, but our injuries in the secondary makes us a liability versus
Yeah,
those teams if we were to play right now. But at the end of the
absolutely.
year, I think we'll probably be just as good if we can stay healthy and keep improving because I think we improved every game. So, where
Smitty,
Jordan at? He ain't got home yet?
are we a top 4 team?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Uh,
agree.
I
We
agree.
are.
I agree with Dondre, and right now, if we were playing the other 4 teams outside of Michigan, we would definitely get exposed in the secondary. But with time growth and some healing, be able to, Clemson definitely be able to compete in the top 4.
Right. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I said I really haven't seen those other teams play outside of Alabama. But I don't think anybody. Who's number 6? Who's number 6? Was that Kentucky? I didn't think Kentucky was a top 10 team. Uh, who was number 6? Tennessee. I think if we play Tennessee, we'll crush them easily. I mean, they got a high power offense, but their defense is not on the level of the 3 teams in front of us. And I don't think Michigan's offense is as good as us. So I don't. Yeah, I don't see anybody outside those other 3 teams that can beat us if we keep
Uh,
improving like we have from week to week.
I think
absolutely.
Southern Cal's number 6.
I
Who?
think we're.
Southern Cal.
Definitely a top 4 team. They need XT badly. Yes, yes, we do need XT, and I can't wait to freaking see when he makes his debut.
If for anything, the energy.
Yeah, I mean the dude. I mean he came back this year for a reason, and I really can't wait to see um, him get out on the field this year.
And people don't
Uh,
realize the guy that was the number 1 pick last year in the NFL, Walker. I think he only had 1 sack, and people saw his potential, and that's how good it. I think how NXT is going to be. I mean, when he came out behind Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, he was considered the 3rd best player in the country. I think he's there. I think what hurt him is when we switched to the 3-3-5 his sophomore year, and I think that's stunning his growth and the health issues that he has had. So I think ST when he finally gets back out there, I think ST is going to be one of the best players to ever play at on the field when he gets out there, and he's going to push Murphy. I wish Murphy to straight dominate people like he usually does, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's playing not to get hurt or I just don't think he's putting up the numbers that he was putting up last year or his freshman year. So I don't know what's going on with that issue.
all right, I'm gonna bring Jordan Bowman on here.
There you go.
Uh, he dropped into the background. Jordan Bowman, for those of you out there that are watching, he was live and in person for the Clemson versus NC State in Death Valley this evening, and hopefully he has some great reports about the atmosphere, about the game day situation that was there in Death Valley. Hey Jordan, man, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. My voice is shot. I
I
don't know if you
I
guys can tell, but
I can hear it.
that was
How was that game day atmosphere, man?
that was amazing. I'd probably put it top 5 like that I've been to.
Wow.
Just that was that was phenomenal. Like just the turnout was great. Going back and forth with there was an NC State fan that I went back and forth with behind me. Man, it was amazing from the intro, the light show to running down the hill. It was awesome, and you could really feel it, in those key 3rd down situations, especially.
Yeah.
It was like it was deafening at times. So um, that was awesome, and I'm really proud of how this team, that first half was really shaky, but when NC State scored that touchdown late in the second,
Yeah.
and the offense responded, like that was when the game changed. And you could feel Clemson going into the half like we're better than them.
Yeah,
We're going to impose our will on them, and I think that's what you did. That's what they did, and the score. I mean, the score, like Clemson never played well enough to like blow the game away, but they were clearly, the more physical team, especially on defense.
Yep.
And they just chipped away at it, and that was the result you got. And I was really, just proud of that performance. It was gutsy. It wasn't pretty at times. There were some missed opportunities, but all in all, with how you coming into the season, this is the game we had circled. This is the game we knew we needed to win, to win the division, and
Yeah.
that was just to go up against a really experienced team with really good players, and really assert yourself as the better team. That was great, and that's the kind of win this team needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, I think when Clemson drove down and scored right before halftime, it didn't really feel like from that point on that the game was in doubt for Clemson. It never felt like we were going to lose the game after that. It kind of felt like we were in control for the rest of the game after that, especially when we came out in the second half. We forced a 3-and-out, 2 sacks. Clemson went down, scored again, and that was kind of after that unfolding right before halftime, and then that immediately in the second half, it kind of felt like Clemson had kind of flexed and been like, we are the better team.
Yeah.
We believe we're the better team, and we're going to get out of here with a win, regardless. Like you say, it wasn't pretty at all times. There was mistakes out there made, but I'm really proud of our defense tonight. I do want to shout out our defense. I know we've talked.
Line that was a great bounce back performance for the D line.
KJ Henry, shout out to KJ Henry tonight. Like
he's made himself some money this year.
Yeah, he put it all out on the field tonight. He made a lot of good plays. Tyler Davis again with another great performance.
They couldn't run on him at all.
Not at all. That dude is a monster. Tyler Davis is a monster.
Hey Jordan, but that's what we talked about the other day, that we didn't think that State could run the ball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what was the energy like after Brent Carter got that sack coming out the first half?
Oh, it was the crowd erupted. That was like that was insane. I almost screamed my lungs out. Like just the amount of adrenaline I felt when that was phenomenal. And you couldn't have asked for a better start to the half.
Right
on both sides of the ball. That was it was amazing. And from that point on, you were like you knew that Clemson, like they had the momentum. They were they were the ones that felt like they were they would win the game. And that was awesome. Me and my buddy were literally couldn't talk after the game. And actually need to send you guys the video, because I was on I gathered at the paw with and that was pretty fun.
Oh, that's freaking awesome, man.
I got 2 more questions for you, Jordan. The 2 passes to Collins that was overthrows, what did you see live in those 2 passes? One in the first to Bo Collins.
Well, the thing about seeing it live is you don't get to see a replay, so it's kind of you just kind of have to go off memory. I have to go back and watch, but just that for I don't think the second miss was really an it wasn't really an overthrow. I mean, yeah, sure, it could have been close, but that I think Bo should have caught that second one. But the first one, I don't know what it was. DJ just put it over, just completely put it over. That was. I don't know what he saw. Like when I looked at the short replay that they showed, it just looked like, I don't know. There wasn't like anybody obstructing his vision. That was just a bad ball. It was a great play design, great play, but that's the frustrating thing about this offense is like you'll see the Brandon Streeter will dial up something really, really good, and it's just one, mistake here or there that prevents it from being a touchdown, and that was kind of what you saw tonight. But yeah, the first one was just a clear overthrow. The second, I think Bo has to come down with that. It was slightly ahead, but it went through. It hit him in the hands,
Right.
and that would have been a touchdown. But we left a lot of points on the board. BT missed a field goal. But you have to feel good. You went up against a team you could barely you had to fight and claw to score 14 against in regulation last year, and you got a 30 piece and probably should have had more.
Right. That's what we were talking about before you came.
There was definitely plays left on the field.
Yeah.
We could have. I think there were several points in that game where Clemson could have blown it open.
Yeah.
It just it just didn't happen for us. But at the end of the day, I think it was
some missed PIs. That was you could the whole that was like the whole crowd erupted.
Stadium was feeling that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about the first the sweep they tried to do with DJ on our first scoring drive where we only scored a field goal? How was the crowd reaction to that? I was like, why are y'all running that play?
It was just kind of, you could just hear the groan. Like there were a bunch of people that were groaning around me, just why do we keep doing that? It's
of all the running plays to do with DJ, you're going to do like a sweep.
Yeah, he's not going to beat somebody to the outside.
With Shipley being the lead blocker.
Yeah,
what a play call.
Like this isn't like when we had Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, and Travis could get out there super duper fast, and Trevor could beat somebody to the edge. Like it's not the same.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
Trevor was fast. Like I know people see Trevor like he was 6'5", 6'6", whatever, but like he could outrun people. DJ can't outrun anyone.
Yeah.
So to do a sweep with him. As Shipley as the lead blocker, that's just a mind-boggling play call for me.
Yeah, there was definitely some frustrating moments tonight, but because you were just like, man, it would be really great if we had won this because it just felt like that was how the game should, just the way they played on defense. Like we didn't deserve to give up. This defense didn't deserve to give up 20. Really.
Yeah, it felt like we should have won by more.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, I think if you watch the game. It felt like we should have won by more. It felt like, we were in control of the game. Like I say, from kind of when they responded right before halftime, that was kind of when the game took a turn. And Clemson momentum never really shifted from that point on.
Yeah.
Back to North Carolina State. So.
And it just, if any yards NC State got, it just felt like it was a struggle. Like they had to fight for it. Like
right.
That one that almost got picked, but like that just kind of bounced right back into. I think it was their slot receiver. I'm forgetting his name. I'm forgetting his name at the moment. Thayer Thomas. Like it just kind of like. I don't remember. I can't tell. I mean, it might have been Barrett Carter that jumped, that dove and swiped at it, and
number
got
0
a hand on it, and it just kind of popped up and right back into the receiver's hand. Like it just stuff like that. Like
just like
those were NC
that was
and
penalties. That happened to.
Oh, it wasn't Jalen. I couldn't remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last touchdown was a garbage touchdown, but the first touchdown they scored shouldn't have been they shouldn't have gotten that. That whole drive was aided by penalties.
Yeah, so, big time penalties. That whole drive.
The targeting penalty on Makuba was brutal. When that happened, you could tell. Like I got really nervous because we were already playing him at corner out of necessity.
Yeah, and I mean let's talk about the targeting penalty for a little bit since that came up because the targeting penalty really bothers me. I think we got to stop kicking college football players out for a game with this targeting penalty. Yeah. It's so subjective. It's so unequally applied across the board. Like anything you almost do seems to be targeting at this point. I don't even know what I think the whole purpose of the rule has kind of been lost. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I just don't like the idea that somebody misses an entire game because there was a bang bang play and they got, they hit somebody with the crown of their helmet or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't think there's a bulk of college football players out here doing malicious hits to try to kill each other. I don't think that's the case. And unless, barring that, I don't think anybody should be kicked out of a game. A penalty is fine, whatever. If you want to give a 15-yard personal foul penalty, fine. But you're going to kick somebody out for an entire game because of, a bang bang play. I just have a problem with the targeting penalty. I don't think the North Carolina State guy should have necessarily gotten thrown out. I think it's a bang bang play. Like, that's really hard as a defender when you're going in to tackle somebody and all of a sudden the ball carrier's head drops and now you're thrown out of a game because you went in too low.
Yeah, those were
two
head. Key players, two defensive
yeah,
players.
Two key players on both teams that I don't think should have got kicked out of this game.
Now, I will say this. I remember a couple of years ago, Florida State was playing Clemson, and a linebacker targeted Ryan Carter on a kick return, and he knocked him out of the game. He was running off, telling him, I put him to sleep. I don't know if y'all remember that game a couple of years ago. Yeah. So that stuff like that, I hate to say this, Wiskowski too. It's like, why you keep hitting with the crown of your helmet? So when you have a repeat offender,
sure,
I think you need to look at that. Like, let's keep note. This guy's a repeat offender, and we're gonna kick him out of the game if you get too many in a time period. But I agree with you. I just don't. But it's people like that, Florida State player that did that to Ryan Carter, you could have killed him.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and those are the type of hits that the rule was developed for. But the problem is it's being enforced in a way where those people are being punished, and I agree. Like, that sort of situation, absolutely, you get kicked out of the game. But at the end of the day, like, most of these hits, they happen so fast on the football field, and you're literally taking these dudes out of the game, and I don't think most, if any, probably 95 to 98% of these hits aren't malicious.
Right.
Well, I think the downfall for it actually comes from the whole booth review aspect because 9 times out of 10, if it's called on the field, it's blatant targeting.
Right. Yeah.
And then I've noticed this year watching 9 times out of 10, if the booth reviews it, it's like, is it or is it not? But
right.
No, it was it didn't hurt. Nobody was hurt. Nobody. There was no intentionality to hurt.
Right.
And
then they're slowing it down frame by frame, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he led with the crown of his helmet." Like
it'd be one thing if it was
come on,
a defenseless player, but tonight, both people were tackling the guy with the ball.
Yeah, they were ball carriers,
so
they're not defenseless players, and.
So I think that's where it comes from. I think the booth has too much power when it comes to they're not replaying this pass interference call they obviously got wrong and fixing it, are they? Then they shouldn't be calling down these targeting calls that were missed because the refs didn't feel it was targeting in the moment. Then
I just feel
that's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I just feel like it needs to be improved. I don't like I said, I don't know what the right answer for it is. I just don't like
young blood in the NCAA.
I just don't like people getting thrown out for bang bang plays. That's what I really have a problem with. And there's a lot of them that happen. And most of the time it's it's some key person on your team or the other team that gets thrown out for these bang bang plays, and it's just I don't think that's the answer. I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong, whatever. I'm sure there's people out there that disagree with me. And then there's
LSU that left on a stretcher.
Right. I mean, it's
after being called for targeting and leading with his helmet.
Right. And that does need to.
That's what they're trying to prevent.
Yeah, and
taking it too far.
Yeah, and that's what I think is as I think the rule has gotten, out of hand, and I don't think it's equally, and I think it's not interpreted in the right way for the most part.
Yeah, not at all.
Hey,
Just my opinion.
Hey, Jordan, on that last touchdown by DJ, what was the crowd's reaction when you were there?
That was my loudest scream of the night. Like just the
He
amount
beat the
of
heck out of that dude.
the amount of serotonin and dopamine that hit my you see that just flooded my brain. That felt so good just to get 30 because I felt like the offense deserved it. I mean, we had the opportunities and it felt so good. And then going out gathering at the Paul was amazing. That was
I wish I would have took the over like you suggested though. I only took the 7 points.
Yeah, I had a feeling because the weather was, it was really nice. Yeah, it was no rain, just slightly chilly at times, and that was it.
How did you get some recruits in there? The recruits that were there,
I didn't get to see any. I mean, I'm sure.
I'm sure they had recruits there. For this game.
This was a big.
I know they had a ton.
Recruits.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure this.
24 of them, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sure this was a big night for recruits and a really nice recruiting tool, especially for Clemson. I mean, that place was absolutely electric on TV, and by Jordan's account, even more so in person. So
it was
absolutely, an invaluable recruiting tool.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna have to run because I get to work.
Hey, absolutely, man.
I'm out here yarning. Y'all have a good night, man. Great win.
Thanks for joining us, DeAndre. You have a good one, man.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right. I think that kind of does it for the night, fellas. It's getting late.
Yeah.
It's after 1 a.m. I know I'm tired.
I'm ready to get to bed.
I know Smitty's tired. We got kids. Jordan Bowman, he's been screaming his head off in Death Valley all night.
Be too happy.
Jordan, what's that?
Be too happy to sleep.
Yeah, I know, right? What were your guys' score predictions before we get off of here for the game?
I had a 34-24.
34-24. Okay, not bad.
Did we record? Man, did we write it down? I think I said 28-24.
You might have. I don't think I wrote it down, but it's on the tape. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I think
we can't hide from our score.
Is what I said.
I think mine was 31-14. So
that was honestly, you were pretty good. Just the way that game played out.
Yeah, it was close.
That should have been a 31-14 game.
Yeah, it should have been 31-14. But
something similar to that.
Dave Dorn had to try to score late. Whatever.
Yeah, smoking that. I wonder if he's got that cigar and red Solo cup tonight.
Yeah. Where's that red Solo cup, Dave?
Yeah.
All them Pack fans out there.
Yeah.
Hey, but we love you guys. It's all in good fun. Thanks for everybody in the chat right now. Thanks for everybody that joined us for this post-game breakdown. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Jordan, thanks for the breakdown from inside Death Valley, the live reaction that you gave us from the energy inside that stadium. I'm sure it was absolutely insane. I can hear it in your voice. You may not be talking right for 3 or 4 days at this point, but all worth it. All worth it, my friend.
Absolutely.
Everybody in the chat, don't forget, before you leave, hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We thank you guys again for tuning in. We will be back this Friday with another preview video. It's going to be Boston College week. So we will be back with a preview video breaking down our thoughts heading into the Clemson-Boston College game. Again, Jordan, thank you for joining me. Smitty, thank you for joining me. If you guys got anything to say to the audience, now is your time. Go ahead.
Appreciate you guys joining the chat. Like and subscribe. Don't miss a show. And hopefully we'll see you guys Friday.
Jordan?
Yeah, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I know I joined in late, but normally I'm here the entire time. So be sure to check in for the Boston College pregame next Friday. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Also hit the notification bell because that lets you know when exactly we go live. So and make sure it's set to all and not just personalized, because I know that sometimes people get notified when we go live. Sometimes they don't. So make sure you hit that all button so it lets you know. And thank you guys for showing out. Great win for the Tigers tonight. It's a huge monkey off our back.
That's right.
The home winning streak is now at 37, tied for the longest in ACC history. So life's good, undefeated, 5-0. Go Tigers!
Hey, it's a great night to be a Tiger, and the DJ Revenge Tour continues.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
see you next week, fellas.